so it's ready to drink. To stay in the flow state that we're about to get into, you don't even want to have something that's like, going downstairs to get some water or looking around for where the water bottle is and taking the cap off. I keep mine like this, so it doesn't even have the lid on. I keep it in the exact same place, so I can almost grab it like a robot and not even like look at it whilst I'm, still scripting like that. If you've been taking notes on everything we've just spoke about, we're going to be setting up the room, our water bottle is ready, the mental perception of the task we're going to do, at what time, and everything's set up, right? Now this is going to make you feel really good. Just take a second to think about how much extra intention we've just put in to just preparing to do work tomorrow. The average student or worker does absolutely no preparation beforehand and then doesn't get much done because the friction to doing the work is just so high because they haven't prepared. They start doing some work and they need some water, so they go downstairs, and here we are, like setting a new level of standard for ourselves. So if you wrote notes on this section, just glimpse at it and just think to yourself, this is what's going to make you stand apart from everyone else. Here's your actionable step for this part of the video. Have a step-by-step checklist or sort of bullet points of what your work preparation could be. So it could be like 5 things you're going to check off before you even go and work. So for example, it could be a cold shower. It could be meditation. It could be having water ready. It could be even having like coffee ready. At this point, if you've made coffee, down it all. It's way better than like, sipping it nicely because it tastes nice over time. Down it all so you get the caffeine effect. Step 3.1, starting the work. Start the task with the intention of staying focused and, we want to get into a flow state. Immediately, your monkey brain will start to think of thoughts or memories or anything just irrelevant. And it's so important that as soon as you become aware of that, you don't get upset at yourself. You just refocus back on the task that you're doing. Doing this feels painful. This feels like a trudge. This is like the first stage of getting into a flow cycle. It almost feels like you're trudging through snow. It's like heavy snow up to your waist and it's very slow and you're taking one step and you're kind of falling and your mind keeps going off. It feels physically kind of agitating to be here. It's quite hard. You want to go click off. You've got 10 ideas of other things you could go and do right now. As long as you keep trudging, keep fighting, you will get into a flow state. It's the repetition of becoming aware that your mind has wandered and then just simply bringing it back to the task that you're doing. Once you've repeated that process about 50 times, that's when you'll click into a flow state. At this point, what I like to do is almost have like a mean gaze in my eyes. So let's say right now I'm trying to script a video, but my mind keeps wandering when I want to get into a flow state. I'll almost like squint my eyes a little bit and look at the exact letter, not even the word, but the letter that I'm currently typing, and keep my eyes super focused. Not even like, slightly looking around the room and chilling and stuff. And, I'll be doing this, then I'll think about high school or something irrelevant and I'll bring it back. Okay, come on, that letter that I'm currently typing. And this really helps to get more focused. You're 5 minutes in, you're struggling, 10 minutes in, you're trudging through this thick snow and you keep thinking, you know what, there's other tasks I could be doing right now. There's something which isn't as productive, but it's a lot easier. I'm kind of motivated for that. Maybe I should change my entire routine actually. That other thing is a really good idea. Keep fighting. Step 3.2, breaking into flow. If you keep on fighting that monkey brain and you keep refocusing on the task, there's going to be a point that you're not even super aware of, where you'll just have no thoughts in your mind and you're just integrated in the task, literally flying through like with speed, with really high levels of performance. You're in a flow state. But it doesn't feel very magical or intense. It just kind of feels like there's just no thought in your mind and you're just doing pretty well at the task. And that's really all there is to it. It's not going to be like this limitless pill, like, this weird thing where the walls, like music's going to start playing or anything like that. It's literally just like how you were before, but there's just no thought in your brain. And you're just kind of like integrated into the task really well. You'll be making more progress in every minute here than you usually would in every 10. So enjoy this time period and just keep focused on the task. Every now and then you might get a little bit of like a mind wandering. You might get a memory, a little thought. It can happen. When that happens, don't indulge in it. So let's say, okay, I'm scripting this video right now. I'm super focused. I'm in a flow state. And one random thought does pop into my mind. The weak part of me might want to indulge in that thought and think about it and fantasize about it. But the strong part of me will hear the thought and kind of like squint my eyes again and super focused, tell myself, no, come on, focus. Boom. At this stage, just rinse out the flow state for as much as you can. Step 3.3, coming down. At some point between 60 and 120 minutes into this work bout, you'll start to notice that you're quite slumped over. You'll start to get monkey mind thoughts over and over again. And that just symbolizes the end of this current bout of work. You shouldn't be upset at this. Oftentimes, when I first became aware of the flow state and my thoughts would like start coming back and I start getting distracted, I was quite upset and annoyed that I had like left this zone. But I realize now, like, you can't keep that going like forever, at least not as a beginner. There is a lot of spiritual teachers who say you can keep that going 100%. So we'll discuss that at the end of this guide. But for beginners who are quite new to this, you know, real world non-spiritual people, it's like you can't expect it to last for like that long. So 45 minutes, 1 hour, 1.5 hours is all good. When you notice yourself getting a little bit slumped over, your posture's not as good, your thoughts start wandering, you kept on looking at the time for the last few minutes, you're pretty much like coming down from the height of the flow, and it's time to just kind of wrap up. So maybe you finish the current sentence or question. You should feel awesome about this, and you can even say it like to yourself, like, yeah, well done, I've just completed a flow bout and I actually did quite a lot. I got quite a lot done. The important thing is that you've shown up, you've had this intention, you've had an improvement today, and you're committed to doing this over the long run. So what exactly do you do now once you're kind of coming down from that flow high? What I would say is, okay, save your work, you know, wrap up anything that you need to wrap up, and then allow your brain to rest. The worst thing that everyone seems to do at this time, as soon as the flow state is like coming down, what do you think like the average person does? Mouth breathing, phone, scrolling. Don't do that. We have respect for ourselves. Don't just go on your phone straight away, even though you think, you know, it's not going to harm you.